I hardly make fried tomato stew in my house, but anytime I do, it's always a delight and we enjoy it differently. So I hope you stick around as I show you how I made this particular one. If you enjoyed this video at the end, please be sure to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's start cooking. Now for this stew, I will be using tin tomatoes. I have tin tomato puree. I also have tin tomato paste. No fresh tomato is needed for this recipe. Also, I will be using one red bell pepper, very large, 2 long green peppers and 2 green scotch bonnet peppers. Really, the color doesn't matter, okay? 2 onions, about a thumb size ginger or more, depending on the quantity of stew you're making. I'll be using 3 cloves of garlic for the quantity of stew I'm making, and here is the seasoning cube I'll be using. Please feel free to use any seasoning cube of your choice. I'll be adding some curry powder as well. I'll be adding some nutmeg, ground nutmeg. I will also be adding some paprika powder, thyme, and finally our cooking oil. Oh, and there's another thing I forgot to show you guys, which I will be showing you in the process of this video. Now in a pot, I'm going to add in my meat, not my meat too, but turkey meat. Actually, I'll be using turkey for this stew. You can use chicken, you can use beef, you can use any protein of your choice. It doesn't really have to be turkey, but for this one I'll be using turkey. Now I'm going to, after adding the turkey in my pot with no water added, I'll be slicing one of the onion I showed you earlier in this video. Just chop it into tiny pieces and then add into the pot. Now after adding the onion, I'll be adding some thyme. For cooking the meat, I always use a lot of thyme. Like, you have to be generous with your thyme. Also, I'll be adding some salt. Just add salt according to your taste. And finally, I'll be adding 2 seasoning cubes. These are the only ingredients I'll be using to cook or to boil the meat, and no water. I'm not going to be adding water now. I'll be adding water later on, but for now I'm going to give it a mix. Just make sure everything is well combined. Cover the pot and allow the meat cook in its own juice. Now while the meat is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of the vegetables, but I'd like to show you how I easily peel my garlic, just like what you're seeing on the screen right now. Place the garlic on your chopping board and place your knife on top of the garlic, then hit the knife with your palm, and it's very easy. Like, the shell comes off very easily. Try it. I learned this a long time ago, and that is how I've been peeling my garlic. So for the long green pepper, the seeds inside are very bitter, so I like to take off the seeds and then I'll chop them into big chunks and throw everything inside my blender. Actually, not a blender. I will be using a food processor to process this. because I don't want it to be very smooth. I just want it roughly blended, just like what you will see later on when I'm done processing them. So here is what they look like. This is how I want them to look, and then I'm going to slice the remaining 1 onion and set aside. We are going to be using this to fry the stew. Now back to the pot. It's been cooking for like 10 minutes, and you can see that the meat has released a lot of juice. Like, I didn't add water to this. It's always good and advisable to cook the meat in its own juice. That way all the spices, all the ingredients you've already added to the meat can, penetrate very well inside the meat. I hope you get that. So after that, I went ahead to add about a cup of water, covered it and allowed it to continue cooking for 10 more minutes. And once the meat was done, I took it off the heat, and I'm going to heat up some oil, some of the vegetable oil. And once the oil is hot, just make sure you pour enough oil to fry the meat. You don't have to cover the meat with a lot of oil. Okay, so I'm going to fry the meat until it turns golden brown, just like what you can see right now. If you want it very crunchy and crispy, you can go ahead and fry it a little bit longer. For me, I really don't like fried meat, like especially those hard ones, but because of my husband, he likes his meat fried, so I thought I should go through this process. Usually I don't fry my meat, I just boil it. Once it's cooked, I use it to make my stew. So once the meat is fried to your satisfaction, just set that aside, and in a big enough pot, we are going to transfer the oil we used to fry the meat, and then pour in the one sliced onion which we sliced earlier. You remember, add some time, just a little bit of time this time around, because we already added enough time when we were cooking the meat, and fry the onions for about 2 minutes, nothing more than 2 minutes, so that it doesn't release its sticky substance or substances that can make your stew burn. Okay, just 2 minutes, and then add in the processed peppers, ginger, garlic, and all the vegetables we processed earlier in the food processor. Then after about 5 minutes of adding that, you're going to add the tomato paste. Now here is the tomato paste, and this is what it looks like. You can see it has a thick consistency, not like the other one which you'll be seeing very soon. Now you're going to fry this tomato paste for about 10 minutes. I'm telling you why you need to do this is to get rid of the sour taste, and make sure you stand there and be stirring it so that it doesn't burn. Okay, now after about 10 minutes of frying the tin tomato paste, we are going to add the tin tomato puree. Now this one looks more like fresh tomatoes that has been blended in a blender. You can see it. This one has more like a runny consistency. And as always, nothing goes to waste. I just rinsed the tins and added in the food processor, which I'll be adding into the pot later on. So after adding the tomato puree, you're going to continue frying for an additional 10 minutes. And you can see how the tomato is looking right now. This is how you know that your tomato is properly fried? When it starts looking straight, like looking like a rough beaten batter. I hope that makes sense. Like it's no longer looking smooth like when you started frying it. So after that, you're going to start adding in all your spices, your ingredients. I've added the curry powder, the nutmeg, the paprika, and I'm going to give it a quick stir and then add the turkey stock, that is the liquid we got from cooking the meat. Add it and add this one. This is the one I got from rinsing the tins and rinsing the food processor. So I'm going to add everything in, mix it all up. I'm going to also taste it to see if everything is okay, but mine was lacking more salt and more seasoning cubes. So I went ahead and add one more seasoning cube. I also added some more salt. Okay, trust me, the salt is not too much. I didn't start cooking today. Okay, I know a lot of you will be like, that's a lot of salt. It is not. For the quantity of stew I'm making, it is not a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly stir that in, taste it again just to be sure. And then I'm going to cover the pot and allow this to cook for 10 minutes. I always cook for 10 minutes. Sometimes it's more than 10 minutes, sometimes it's less, a little less and a little more. Okay, I forgot, this is the one thing I forgot to show you guys when I was introducing my ingredients, and that is bay leaf. So you're going to add the bay leaves and cover to cook for 10 minutes. Now after cooking for 10 minutes, we are going to add the fried turkey, add in everything, and your stew is done, you guys. It is literally done. I added a little bit more water, just a tiny bit more water, because I don't really like my stews and soups very thick, but if you like them thick, just leave it as it is. Now, like I said earlier in this video, I hardly make fried tomato stew because of all the higi haga. And by that I mean all the processes that comes with fried stew. It's either you stand there and be stir frying from one pot to another, or the stew is splashing everywhere in the kitchen. See, you didn't get to see all the splashes because I was cleaning for the sake of this video. It's a lot, honestly, it's a lot, but definitely worth it after all, because the taste is totally different from the one I call my one pot stew. Although that one is tasty and delicious as well, but nothing compared to the taste of the one that went through all these processes. But if you still want me to show you how I make the one pot stew, let me know in the comment section below, because I think that one is more like the healthier option. Doesn't take a lot of time and processes just like this one, and no frying is involved as well. So let me know if you still want me to show you how I make my one pot stew. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching up until this point, and I hope you've learned a thing or two. If you did, please be sure to click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button. If you're new to my channel, please click on the red subscribe button below and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my latest upload.